Hello, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in to the Sanctuary Collective Collaborative channel. It's a lot of alliteration. I hope I said that right. So this is Kelsey again, and I apologize in advance that I'm not so great at editing and so forth. I'm still trying to figure that out. So my videos might not be that exciting, but I'm really trying. So this week we're talking about privilege. And I guess this is sort of a new conversation for me. It's not something that I really thought about until I went to college, and even there it was mostly in the context of sexuality and gender that I spoke about it with people. So I think this is a good way for me to kind of find a way to articulate and make more clear for myself, what's going on with my various privileges in the world. And trying to figure out, how that impacts my beliefs and how I go about my daily life. I'm going to copy Brian a little bit here and just sort of list off the privilege that I recognize in myself, and I'm probably missing all sorts of things, but I'm trying. So I'm white. I come from an upper middle class background. I'm Christian. I am college educated. I am able to access public facilities and so forth because I don't have any physical or developmental disabilities. And that's pretty much all I've come up with. Yeah. So I guess what comes up for me in talking about privilege is two different things. One is that I grew up in the Midwest in Iowa, and I went to a Catholic school, the same Catholic school with the same people pretty much from kindergarten through 12th grade, a private school, and then I went to a private school for college as well. And there was not a lot of diversity at all in my school. There were very few non-white or even non-Catholic kids that went to my school. And so, when I went to college in Evanston, Illinois, about 5 years ago, I encountered a lot of different people with a lot of different ideas. And I remember meeting for the first time, practicing Jewish people. I knew one Jewish person that went to Catholic school inexplicably. Don't ask me why that happened. I'm not really sure what they got out of it. I had one, Jewish acquaintance when I was in Iowa, and it was really crazy to me that that people actually practiced Judaism. And I remember thinking, wow, I thought that I was really smart, but apparently I don't know what's going on in the world. And that's kind of embarrassing, but it is the truth. And so that would be kind of my first sort of realization of, how sheltered I was in this upper class white community in Iowa. The second thing that comes up for me is that I'm trans. I'm recently coming out as female to male. And I did not always, I identified as a lesbian when I first came out when I was, 18 in college, but I had long blonde hair, I went tanning, I did my makeup, I was very gender conforming, and no one ever guessed that I was a lesbian, which was at times frustrating, but many times it was, a privilege that I enjoyed, because I saw my friends who might not be gender conforming, both male and female, getting heat from people in public, people saying inappropriate things and so forth. And I didn't have to experience any of that. And so I kind of hid behind that privilege. I didn't always feel the need to represent myself and be authentic. Many times I did, but especially out in the community, I did not wear a t-shirt that said, I'm a lesbian or whatever. And when I shaved my head at the end of the Equality Ride in 2007, I also started wearing more male clothes, and I had a very different experience of the world. Privileged sometimes in some ways, and other times not so much. And what I mean by that is that some people started perceiving me as male. And so I would get the head nods and the hey buddies and, deference from various people because I appeared to be a white male. But other people that perceived me as now being a lesbian, you know, they would feel the need to say things on the bus or whatever to me like, are you a guy or a girl? Like, you need to just decide. Or you're so pretty, you don't need to have short hair like that. Or, you know, whatever it was. So the kind of privilege around like gender and what that means and the messages that I'm being sent, that's something that I've been trying to figure out lately. And I hope that through these discussions on YouTube that we can kind of delve more deeply into, you know, how these privileges impact the way we look at the world. So I've probably gone on way too long. I could probably go on for a little longer with my background around the aforementioned, but I will leave you now, and hopefully next week will be another great topic.